Well, Joe, your group met today with the City Council. We didn't get a commitment, but it sounds like they will be voting soon on a request to set up a task force. What would that group do?
You know, in particular, they would look at different funding models. They would look at the demand on the building itself. They would look at the structure, the cost. They would look at every avenue possible, even from marketing standpoint, meaning name of the building itself. And the task force would really establish all these things, come back and report it to the council. Ultimately, the council would have all their homework done by a committee that would help answer a lot of the questions that the council people were asking today. And basically, so we've been approached on the Convention Visitors Bureau and asked that there are parties interested in redoing Taylor Arena and creating a new arena that would update, have our arts potential, have sports potential. We would presently take care of all the sporting teams that are there presently, it's basically it's a building that was funded for the flood control. So it's like 34, 35 years old, and it's dated, and the potential for the future could be huge, of different teams that would be interested in coming here, but not just teams. The rigging system that's in there is 34 years old. It's outdated. That affects our entertainment. So there are a lot there's a lot of competition in that business, but if you stay the way you are, you'll continue to get what you got.
There's been a lot of talk about some kind of maybe a hockey team, and I know there was also talk at some point even basketball.
Yeah.
Well, what are you hearing about that?
Well, interesting. Yes, there has been on both avenues. Now, that doesn't, we don't know where that is. They may have an interest. That's another thing that this task force could establish. How interested are they? I asked a meeting in one of the teams that we met, what kind of lease would you sign? And they said a 15-year lease. Well, in 15 years, we'll be well on our way in that building. But honestly, there's models out there right now that we don't need to affect one taxpayer in this community to fund that building. And so that's why, to me, if you just say no, push it aside, you're going to continue to have what you got right now. And we're lacking in entertainment in this community.
What would you say about it? Some people are concerned that we just went through this huge makeover and expansion, went through all that construction and all of that, and now here we're talking about doing that again.
Yeah, I mean, this is really a local project that we're working on right now. The Convention Bureau needed a place to handle meetings. Our convention business next year will be huge, and we're bringing in national conventions to the city itself, which fills hotels, restaurants. It brings a tremendous amount of economic impact to our community itself. That's what the new part of the facility is. But if you want an arena itself, that will be used primarily for local things that you can be a part of.
How long have you been working on this? I know Brad Jones and others, I think I heard 2 years.
I have been in since the beginning. When Brad brought it up, I was the chair of the board, and I said, I think we ought to continue to look at this. We are in the visitor experience in the Convention Visitors Bureau. It's really about what the visitor, the relationship that they have with our community when they're here and when they leave, what they think of our community. That's one of the main reasons why I said I think we ought to continue to pursue it. And our board is committed to it in pursuing it. And all we're asking for is a task force to take a look at it. We're not saying do it. We're not saying it makes sense to do it. I personally think it makes sense to do something, okay? But that doesn't mean I know all the ins and outs.